What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Addy channel. Welcome back to part 2 of the clutch install on the A4. Now today we have a couple new parts that we're going to be talking about here in just a second, and also installing today, and then hopefully getting everything set up, the flywheel, pressure plate, clutch, everything back together. And then maybe I might not be able to do it alone, and I am alone right now, to get the transmission back in and start getting everything back together. Hopefully that is kind of today, but the other day, Angel came over. Well, that was the 16th, so that was technically, I guess, day 2. But what we did was go ahead and get the pressure plate, clutch, and the flywheel out, and I kind of ran through that with you guys, so I'm going to insert that right here. All right, you guys, so Angel's here today instead of Eric, or I think Eric's showing up later. So you guys just saw us on the time lapse take the pressure plate and clutch out, and you can see this is what happened to the pressure plate. It broke almost even in like 3 places. Yep. So it was messed up, and you can see the clutch here does not have very good life. So it's a good thing they're coming out.
Good?
Yeah. All right, as you guys saw, we got the clutch, pressure plate, and flywheel out on that time lapse. We also pulled the rear main seal. So we have a brand new one to put in. This is the old one right here. And it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like it was leaking absurdly, but we have the new one here, so we'll be putting that on. Pilot bearing, I don't have the specific tool that I need to get it out. There's a special tool, especially since this is an Audi. And the normal pilot bearing puller will not work on it. So I thought about doing the bread and grease method, but I just don't think that I need to, considering pilot bearing was done really not that long ago with the clutch. So it shouldn't be a huge deal. Just save time today and just get the new rear main on and go from there. As you guys saw when we pulled, so flywheel doesn't look too bad. It's pretty discolored, you can see. But the clutch here looks really, really bad, as well as obviously the pressure plate. That's so weird how it broke in 3 places like that. But yeah, I guess we're going all brand new, so we won't even be needing this anymore. And as you guys saw, Angel's here helping me today. And yeah, I think Eric's coming in a little bit. I got the like the little spacer for the transmission and the starter and all that cleaned. You can see that right there. It looks pretty good. Not many markings or anything like that. And then underneath the car looks pretty good too. As you can see, to kind of clean up the bottom of it there and kind of get it all ready in for the new rear main. So yeah, I think that the rear main seal will be next, and then pretty much just reinstalling everything. We got all new hardware, flywheel bolts, everything like that. The flywheel that we have is the lightweight flywheel on the B7 S4 clutch kit. So we're good there. We got 2 alignment tools. And yeah, plenty of stuff. So we're just gonna keep setting up the camera and continue rolling. Okay, so I also realized that we still need to pressure wash the transmission. I did a little bit the other night and kind of scraped all the gunk off the top of it. But we need to pull it out, pressure wash the transmission, replace the fork and a couple of the other things that I ordered to go inside there. And then we can get rear main seal on, and then I guess flywheel back on, and then we should be done. I also have to get a new coolant line for the heater core down there, the main line that runs to the 2 hoses for the heater core. It broke when we were pulling the transmission off. I think that the top of the trans just kind of hit it and split it. So I found a new hose. I'm gonna have to order that, and then also the trans mounts I showed you guys. The one was destroyed, so I'm gonna order a new one, and then I'm just gonna get the other side just as preventative. So yeah, I guess trans can't really go back in until those parts get here. But we can get everything ready up until that point, just kind of get everything cleaned. And yeah, I guess go from there. And then
next time we go under.
Yep. And yeah, so I think we're gonna clean the transmission real quick. Alright, you guys, so I figured while we have the transmission out, it's kind of clean now. Hopefully you guys were able to see that from some of the video. You can see it's much cleaner now, not as much crap on any of it. So we're good to go there. Did kind of clean out the front of it here, and when I was ordering the clutch, I also got a couple of other parts. So this is our new clutch fork. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Figured if I'm gonna be in here, might as well do some of the little stuff, some of the cheaper stuff too. So we got a whole new fork here. You can see that's that piece right there. And then obviously a new throwout bearing, that's that. And then we also have this little piece that holds in the clutch fork there, and that goes back here. So to take this off, you will push this back, and that should kind of slide out like so. And then you have the old clutch fork and the old throwout bearing. So go ahead and open our new throwout. Here's our new throwout bearing, and then we'll go ahead and open the new clutch fork as well. Now the way that this kind of sits in here, if we take a look at the old one, you can see it just kind of sits square in there and just kind of clips in with those 2 little clips right there on the side. So that's what we'll do on this one as well. So you can see one clipped in, and if we angle the other one. Okay, so just like that, you can kind of see it does sit in there now with those clips on the side, and it does move back and forth obviously, but it will not once we get it on there. Now this clip right here, you can see it's actually really worn out. That's the other thing that we have to replace. That is this right here. I should have gotten one of these too, but I did not. But I will go ahead and clean that real quick. Okay, now you can see it looks a lot better, a little bit cleaner. So now if we go ahead and take our new clip, and pop it on like that. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of grease to go on the end of that, so that way it's not metal on metal contact. Just like that, you can see a little bit of grease. And now we can just go ahead and pop this in. Okay, so I put that little clip on there first before I'm putting the piece back on the transmission itself. Now you can see we're all good to go. New clip, new fork, and new throwout bearing, so we're all good inside the transmission now. This is where our slave will sit and push up against that there. Also, no shaft play. I wanted to show you guys that. You can see it's nice and solid, so definitely no worries there. Now, I do think that it's gonna be time to go ahead and install the rear main seal. I gotta clean out these portholes on the transmission a little bit more because they are kind of gunked up with sludge and whatnot. But yeah, making good progress. Definitely am gonna have to wait to put the transmission back in until I get those other parts up in there, those mounts and the coolant line. I can definitely get the transmission in without the mounts so far, but I need that coolant line first before I do put it in, so we can get the rear main on, pressure plate, clutch, and flywheel, and then pretty much call it until I do get those other parts. So that'll be it for pretty much part 2 video, but we are not done quite yet. So today is actually the 27th of June. So I guess we're kind of like 3 days in. The other day when we took the stuff out, the rest of the stuff, the flywheel, pressure plate, and all that, that only took like 20 or 30 minutes. So it really wasn't anything. It really wasn't anything to be considered. But yeah, anyway, so here we are today. Like I said, I got some new parts. Let me show you what I got. So this stuff is just kind of some extra stuff to go along with this whole job pretty much. So as you guys saw when we first took out the driver's side transmission mount, it broke completely, so we got a new one here. I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and get a passenger one as well. I should firm in a little bit of things up. This is our new coolant hose. This is the one that we actually broke. It's actually the line that I believe it's the supply for the heater core. And then we also have a different rear main seal. So this is an upgraded one. This was actually about $100, but it comes with a tool that you can use to put it on. It also comes with the good rear main seal with the dual spring instead of the felt one. And then it also comes with a couple of other things too. I think some gasket maker and some stuff like that. So we have some different parts here. So with that, we can climb underneath the car, go ahead and kind of clean up around where the rear main seal is going to be going around the crankshaft. Make sure it's all nice and dry and clean, and then go ahead and put on our new upgraded rear main. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is actually go ahead and do that coolant line first. So we're gonna remove the battery. That way we have access to the heater core supply and return lines right there. We can go ahead and disconnect those and then go underneath and disconnect it up top. That way if we make more of a mess, it's not getting all over the new rear main or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna set you guys up. We're gonna get all this removed and then we should be good to go. All right, so got the battery out and you can see the heater core hose here. It's actually the one on the driver's side, so that is supply. We're just trying to route it down through this little grommet right here and then disconnect it on the bottom side, pull it out, and then we'll go ahead and install our new one. Okay, so we have Allison here. This is the sister. She wants to assist me today. So we're gonna have her help us take this coolant line off to replace it. So if you see up here, Allie, you see this line right here? Mm-hmm. This is the line that I just got in the package. So up here, there's a clamp way up here. You may want to slide this way too so you can see it better. Okay, so now that line should just pull off pretty much. You're probably gonna spill coolant all over you though, so you may want to kind of move out of the way. Let's see. All right, now we're gonna have a bucket in here. There we go. And coolant line is off. All right, so now that this line's kind of off, we should be able to kind of just finagle it out of the thing up top. You grommet just like that. And there's the old coolant line. All right, so we got the new coolant line. It's the exact same as the other one. So we're just gonna kind of pop that on. And is there a clamp on there? might even be, you see, there we go. Feel it push on?
Yeah.
Sweet, and we'll just double check. Yep, we're all good to go. So we can just kind of snake it up through this grommet right here. And then we can go back up top and, you see it? I can't really see it. Stick it through that hole and then we'll go up top and pull it back up through.
On the back side of this?
Yeah, we'll go up top and we can pull it.
I mean, it's...
Okay, so now that it's poking through, just like that. Yep. And then we should just be able to snake it on. Like so. All right, so now we're gonna climb under there. We're gonna kind of clean off the crankshaft to where any coolant got on from pulling that line off. Brake clean it, make sure that it's clean with these shop towels right here. And then we'll go ahead and get our gasket maker onto the rear main. And then go ahead and try to slide that on and get our new rear main. All right, so I'm gonna spray some brake clean. Allie is going to clean the crankshaft after I spray some. And we're just gonna kind of clean all of it off. Okay. Well, as you can see, we got the rear main seal in. It was actually a lot easier than the other one was. The other one, the lip kept wanting to bend back around here, but this one just slid right on with that tool. We just kind of torqued it to spec, and then I think we're all good to go. Now we also slapped some silicone on the bottom there, also the back side of it, just because it didn't have any, there was no seal like the other seal did. So we should be all good to go now. I think that now next step would be to bolt flywheel on, and then just kind of go from there. All right, so we are now going to be installing the flywheel itself.